Hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Melanie back with Melanie Loves Death Metal, and today we're going to be talking about some death metal from down under. That's right, Australia. I got a package from Simon from Explosive Action. You probably already know who that is. We've done streams in heavy metallurgy together. He has a phenomenal YouTube channel, is a big inspiration of mine, a big reason why I am doing a lot of these things on YouTube. His channel is great, so if you're not familiar with Simon, you should go subscribe to him because he doesn't just put out videos about death metal and black metal and thrash and whatever else he talks about. He also talks about movies, and I don't know shit about movies, but I still watch those videos because his movie collection is incredible. And he posts some really weird ass shit, and I'm like, well, that seems fun. I might actually check that movie out. But I'm not a movie buff by any means, but he does. He has cohesively blended that in together into his channel, and it's awesome. So go subscribe to him if you haven't. But anyway, him and I have known each other for a couple of years now, ever since I started YouTube. He's one of the first YouTubers that I got to know when I started doing all of this stuff. Welcomed me with open arms. Been one of my good friends. We've gotten closer over the years that we've been doing this, and he sent me a package of some awesome Australian death metal. So 2 CDs and a tape and a really nice note explaining what everything is. So thank you for my notes for the video today, with explosive greetings written right there. So the one thing I want to call out here is I was familiar with one band. I had already heard them before, and that is because they were just uploaded on a YouTube page, and I'm a huge, like, it's one of my favorite YouTube pages. But I did not know them previously, so I do want to just call it out. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So the first CD that he sent me is Incabulos, I think is how you say their name, Exhumed Abominations. So he says this was a band from Victoria from 1995 to 2002, playing dark immolation style death metal. Yes, that is exactly what I heard when I listened to this. They never made a full length, but their second demo, Dark Divinity, and the follow-up EP, Abandoning the Flesh, were well received locally. Crushing stuff. This compilation CD has everything the band has recorded on it. So this was really good. And yes, immolation is exactly what I hear on this. It is old school sounding death metal. It's got a little bit of that thinner production here and there, but it is really, really good. So this came out on Nuclear Winter Records back in 2022. Surprised it got under my radar because Nuclear Winter is one of those labels that I pay attention to. So somehow this escaped me. But there's a CD right there. And I looked up Incabulos because that sounded familiar. And it turns out my intuition on this, is that the right word, intuition? I'm not smart. I don't know how to say things. But anyway, is the god of plague, sickness, famine, nightmare, and drought, and disasters. So he is the god of all things terrible that can happen to you. and I love it. So that is, yeah, for some reason, I don't know how I knew that. I was like, I think that's the god of at least disasters. All the other horrible things I didn't know. But anyway, so there's that. I'll show you the booklet as I always do. And this is really good. I really enjoy this. This is right up my alley. Simon shares a lot of similar tastes in terms of death metal with me. Like, we like a lot of the same stuff, especially in terms of like the way the band sounds and the type of music that they write, especially when it comes to old schooler sounding death metal albums. Even the new bands, like him and I, are pretty much right aligned with the things that we really enjoy. So this was really good, and he picked out a really good release for me to listen to. So I really enjoyed this. So I'm not too sure if this is easy to find. I have no idea. I didn't look to see if this was easily accessible. But I will say one thing. This came all the way from Australia in like a week and a half, which is insane how fast it got here, because I order things from MSUO and Everlasting Spew and whatever else overseas, and sometimes it takes almost a month to get to me. So I was very impressed with how fast this came. So this CD is phenomenal. So an awesome little gem to add into my collection. I love these old school gems that I like to hunt and put in my collection. So good stuff. The next CD that he sent me was the one that I was familiar with, and that is Neuropath with At Damnation's Core. So this is actually death metal promotion. Oh, there's my cat. Well, hello. You decided to make an appearance on here. This is Autumn. She is a kitten. She's 6 months now, and she's getting chonky. So I need to be careful with that weight there. You want to say hello? All right, tough crowd. Okay. I'm going to put you down here, though, okay? Because I don't want you to keep bothering me. Anyway, there's my cat. Somebody asked me about her, like, last week. Well, there you go. Anyway, Neuropath were an incredibly short-lived Sydney brutal death metal band from 1995 to 96 who released 2 demo tapes, Nefarious Vivisection and Desert of Excruciation, a staple of the live scene at the time, and signed to a very important label, Warhead Records. They never got to release a full length. This is a compilation CD of both demos remastered and definitely appeals to Suffocation Early Deeds of Flesh fans. So yeah. So Death Metal Promotion is one of my favorite YouTube channels, and I listen to a lot of the uploads that he does over there, and he posts a lot of obscure, I would say not like in Ken's realm, because Ken posts things that like from the depths of like just obscurity. But he, every once in a while, there's some stuff on there that he will post that I don't recognize, and I'll go listen to it. And this was one of them a month ago. So that's the only reason why I'm familiar with this. I got about halfway through it. I think I was listening to it while I was working one day. And this is really, really good. So when I opened the package and saw this, I got super excited because I actually have a Google Doc running. I'm a nerd. Of things that I want to get into my collection, and I added this after I went and listened to halfway through of it because it does sound like Suffocation, and it does sound like Earlier Deeds of Flesh. And those two are very much the style of death metal that I absolutely love, and that is that old school brutal death metal sound. It has that exact sound on here. In the snare drum is that pingy, snappy snare, not pingy like Nuclear Remains, it's pingy like old school brutal death metal. And this is a really, really good compilation, and I've been listening to this a ton, so thank you so much, Simon. You saved me from having to hunt this down and buy it, because Lord knows how expensive it might be on Discogs or something. It looks like it came out on Sphere of Apparition Records, which I feel like I talked about them not too long ago. I think I have another release on there. I have to go look, but amazing stuff. And no, that is not AI artwork. It was going to come up on the channel. The reason why I say that is because Mortis Gold, who is coming out with a new album soon on Peaceville, used AI to do their artwork for their new album, which is just an abomination. So anyway, I love that artwork, and it's similar to this. That's what made me think of it. So anyway, that's a whole other video. Maybe I'll do a whole other video on that. But anyway, here's some collage pictures of the band, lyrics, liner notes. Nice little booklet here. There you go. The CD itself still has the same album artwork, and then the one thing on the back, which I kind of wish they had put this in the booklet, but it's just a nitpicky thing, is pictures of the demos that are on here for the compilation. Again, a nitpicky thing. But this is awesome. I really, really liked this. This was right up my alley in terms of the style of death metal that I've been listening to, especially a lot lately, and some of death metal that I absolutely love. So, and again, Suffocation is one of my favorite bands. So this was fantastic. So thank you so much, Simon, for this. When I opened it, I was like, what kind of telepathic shit just happened right now that he knew that I was listening to this on YouTube and being like, I need to get this in my collection. That was, I don't know, the world, man. No, we're synergized somehow. And then finally, the last thing he sent was a compilation of basically a mixtape. He sent me a mixtape that he made of his favorite death metal bands from Australia and his favorite black metal bands from Australia. So it's called Terror Australia, a tape that I have sent a handful of copies to a few others in the VC community, so vinyl community, to share the love of some of my favorite Aussie extreme metal bands. It's a split of 2 sides. Side Darkness is death metal, side Evil is black metal. I hope you dig it. And I did. So the death metal side, I only knew of Neuropath. Some of the other stuff, the names looked familiar in terms of the bands, but when I heard the music, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard this. So that was a really good side. The black metal side, funny enough, ironically enough, had things that I was familiar with and actually had in my collection, and that was Lord Chaos was one of them, because NWN just reissued their one and only full length from '97 called Thorns of Impurity. So I was familiar with Lord Chaos. I was also familiar with Nozzle, and I was also familiar with Ruins. So the black metal side I was familiar with, and I also really enjoyed. So he made a cool little J card here. There's the spine, Terror, Australia, and then his little explosive action. If you're subscribed to Simon, you know what that is. And then here are, if you want to pause it right there are all the bands and the songs on there. So a really nice little mixtape. And then right here on the little tiny spine, it says a celebration of Australian death and black metal assembled by Explosive Action for private distribution. So no, he is not making money off of this, so chill out. And then here's the tape. I don't remember if I showed that or not. So this was really cool. I like this. This is this kind of stuff I love getting. It'll never leave my collection. And yeah, I like that little artwork too. Did you draw that? You had to have, right? I'm assuming you did. So yeah, awesome stuff. So that was the final thing in the package. Thank you so much, Simon. Again, if you're not familiar with Simon, Explosive Action, go subscribe to his page. I feel like probably 98% of my followers and subscribers are already over there all the time. Posts monthly black metal, death metal, collection updates, thrash metal, OG copies, which I'm convinced people in Australia are just like, here, I've got this awesome 90s thrash band that is super expensive, like thousands of dollars, but I'm going to just sell it to a local record store and Simon's going to pick it up for $10. Like, he does shopping trips, all these other things. Awesome channel. Go subscribe to him. And thank you once again. So that is all that I have today. A nice little short, wholesome video. It is coming up to be Christmas on Monday. I had planned to upload my final video before Christmas, but I'm deciding to at least pump out 2 videos after that before the end of the year. So this isn't the last one yet. There's some more coming. And yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a break after Christmas. I'll be back in the new year. I think I've said this like 100 times in my other videos. And I do have a giveaway that I will be announcing. I'm going to pre-record that and post that on December 31st. So be on the lookout for that as well. And that is all I have. I will see you guys in the next one.